Doon, 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 doon. What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. It's Friday. It's game 4 of the NBA Finals. We're back. I'm your guy, Jay Money. We have sports betting legend here with us from Vegas. Our guy, Marco in Vegas. Marco D'Angelo, man, the absolute legend over there. What's up with you, Marco? Is everything cool with you today?
Great Friday, busy Friday for me, but fun time. We love this time of the year. We got everything happening. In the only place that's probably more exciting than Vegas for betting right now, although you can't bet there, would be in Miami because we got
Mm-hmm.
this weekend. I don't think has that ever happened before. You've had the NBA Finals and the NHL Stanley Cup in the same city, 4 straight days. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, hey, South Beach, that's the spot down there too. I'm sure they're going crazy because they just got messy over there too, with their soccer club. So I know Miami's going bunkers over there, man. If you've never been to South Beach, just make sure you get down there at least one time. You gotta check. It's something you gotta check out, man. You might not ever want to leave if you go down there to South Beach, man. But it's all business here on the show, man. We appreciate everybody for tuning in, especially the people that's been tuning into the show like for the past 4 years of me starting up this YouTube channel. Even before that, man, I just want to say I appreciate you guys for the loyalty, for coming and checking in. You know what I'm saying, every day. For as people tell me, hey, even if you don't have a show, I'll watch the show from a different day, man. So I appreciate you guys sending the positive vibes, translating to the plays. You know what I'm saying, let's get more cash today. If you like the show, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. We're coming off another good day. We had the sun plus 5.5. It was a lovely day yesterday, guys. But let's keep it going today. It doesn't matter what happens yesterday. It's all about what happened today, guys. Let's get into it. Let's go over here to the streets of Miami here, Marco. We got the Miami Heat getting 3.5 points at the house versus the Denver Nuggets in this one, laying 3.5 on the road. Total sitting at 211. Obviously, Nuggets went out there and got game 3, stole game 3, won them by 15. We were all over the Nuggets first half and full game. Now, and Marco, I've been saying this. I kind of like the zigzag effect in this series, at least up till game 4, right? I think from here on out, we could possibly see the home team winning every single game. I fully believe this series is going at least 6 or 7 games. And for that to happen, that means the Heat would have to win tonight. I don't want to take the Heat, but my gut is telling me you should be taking the Heat or just staying off the game in this spot. I know a lot of people, oh, Nuggets in 5 now, they're going to smack them up. NBA just doesn't really work that way, man. You see, you know what I'm saying? You see how things work out sometimes here, Marco. I just feel like this is a Heat type of spot here, my brother. How you looking at the side in this game?
Well, Jay, you and I generally see eye to eye on these games every time I'm
Mm-hmm.
on the show, and we're in agreement. And you mentioned the zigzag, and the zigzag has been a zigzag player's dream so far in this series. Not only for the side, but zigging and zagging with the total as well.
Mm-hmm.
What I did in game 2, I zigzagged and I went to the over in game 2. It was a little dicey. I had to get a couple threes late to get there in game 2, but
Mm-hmm.
they did reverse what game 1 was. Then obviously game 2 was also a reversal for the side as Miami came back and took game 2, stole home court advantage for all of one game because Denver came right back, zigzagged as you were. I was on
Mm-hmm.
Denver in game 3. I took them full game money line. I didn't lay the points with them. I got them earlier when I grabbed it at minus 140. I think it ended up
Mm-hmm.
closing at 145 or 150 that day as the line just kept going up on Denver. And Denver did what Denver does. They bounced back in a big way. They were a focused team. And, when you've got a superstar like Jokic, that's tough enough. But
Right.
when you got Jamal Murray putting in the points that he's putting in as well, you talk about, Batman and Robin. I mean, these two guys have dominated their games, and it makes it tough defensively for Miami. But pure and simple, Jay, that game was lost for Miami and won for Denver
Mm-hmm.
on the offensive and defensive boards. First of all, Miami couldn't really shoot the ball in the ocean, 37% from the field in game 3. And when you're not shooting the ball well, you better be hustling and getting some rebounds to
Thanks.
compensate. And they got absolutely destroyed on the boards in game 3. And thus, you got an easy win for Denver. And honestly, I'm surprised that it wasn't more as dominant as it was for Denver because they did dominate this game from start to finish. But tonight, Jay, we are going to go with the zigzag. And the reason the
Mm-hmm.
zigzag works, especially when you get to this level, is you've definitely got two good teams. I know Miami's an 8 seed. They're not, they don't play like an 8 seed. Okay. This is a
Facts.
team that's playing much better. We know they're always dangerous as an underdog, but what works is you've also got great coaches generally at this point. We saw the big edge in coaching in the last round
Mm-hmm.
with Miami and Boston. That was, absolutely a mismatch coaching wise. Not as big of an edge in this series. Malone's done a great job with Denver, but let's face it, the best coach to me next to Greg Popovich is the Miami coach right now. And I think he makes the adjustments tonight. And that's what it's about. The team that wins, what are you changing, Jay? You
Right.
won the game. Everything
Facts.
works. They've got to fix something to stop what you did well. And
Right.
I think that's what Miami is going to do tonight. They will make the necessary changes, come out with a different game plan. And that has me squarely on Miami plus the 3.5. I don't know that this thing is going to move from the 3.5. I think the public likes Denver because they like what they saw last, and they saw
Exactly.
an absolutely dominating performance. So I don't, they could try to drive it to 4, but I think the minute that anybody thinks about moving from 3.5 to 4, what happens here in Vegas. The sharps are going to be lined up waiting to grab that extra half a point with the
Facts.
4. So I just think it's going to end up staying at 3.5.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. And if it moves down to the 3, they'd let you know. That'd be a very good indicator as well if it goes down to 3 right before game time. And I always say if you see a little move right before game time, that's very telling because some people literally just sit there and wait right 5 minutes before the game and then smack it up, man. So I always really trust that line movement right before the game. But regardless of it, I mean, sharps can be wrong sometimes. This is a spot, like I say, I need the Nuggets to win the series, guys. The series the city is gonna go bunkers. I'm gonna be going bunkers with them. I'm gonna be partying with them. So I just hope the Nuggets win. You see what I'm saying? But they don't necessarily have to win tonight. We know that the Nuggets kind of get fat and happy after a good win, right? They like Marco said, that's why the zigzag usually works because the team that won, they're like, okay, we don't really have much to change. We just won the game. We figured out the formula. It's on the team that lost to react, and we know Spoelstra's a really great coach. He has to stop the pick and roll from Murray and Jokic. Obviously, Murray has a real nice burn on his left hand, guys. I'm not sure that's going to affect him like throughout the series, but for this game, he might not be 100%. I couldn't talk you off Jamal Murray going under his points, but regards to that, give me Heat in the first half plus the 1. Give me Heat in the full game plus the 3.5. It's not something that I absolutely love, guys. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I know that the Nuggets are the better team, but I do also know that they probably know that this series is going 6 or 7 games, especially after sweeping the Lakers here. Some tells me, Marco, that the Nuggets just maybe not necessarily just lay down because they're not built like that, but some tells me they don't come to play their best game today. We know the Heat, they're going to come out with desperation. If you go back to Denver down 3-1, the series is over, and then Nuggets will win in 5. But some tells me this series goes at least 6 games, which would mean the Heat would have to win this game. And yesterday I said that there might be, I don't care about the refs anymore, guys, but I did say yesterday that I shouldn't be surprised if we see a certain ref in there, and then he's in there, guys. So we don't even have to say his name, but I just feel like the Heat will get the calls here. Don't be a bit surprised you see a couple of early fouls on Jokic, some things like that. So I do think Heat first half is a little bit better look because you have to come out with that intensity as well. Nuggets might come out a little fat and happy. Heat going to come out pissed off, flying around on defense in this one, man. So I do like the Heat first half a lot better, to be honest with you, because they don't even have to win the game. They just have to come out with their desperation. But I do think it carries over. I think the Heat win this game straight up. I'll take the points. And I'll be perfectly honest, if the Nuggets did win by 1, 2, or 3, I would not be mad whatsoever. That's why I'm not taking the money line in this one, man. So Heat first half plus the 1, Heat full game plus the 3.5. I'll be perfectly honest. I like the WNBA picks better than this game, but that's the sides that I'm going with, Marco. What do you think about the total in this one? It went down to 210.5. We saw the last game total was at, I believe, so at first it was like 214.5. Then it started to trickle down. Now we're seeing 210.5/211 in this game 4. Marco, do you think we see another slow pace defensive type game?
I think Miami has to slow it down for them to have a chance to win this game. And the reason being that twofold. One, you want to get a better shot. Okay. They got to get some better shot selection. They need to try to drive the lane a little more and create, whether they get the bucket or not, get to the foul line. You've got to get some points where the clock is stopped for one if you get to the foul line. If you take a better percentage shot and you shoot better from the floor, that means less rebounds. Less rebounds means less rebound opportunities for Denver to dominate the boards the way they did in game 3. So I think that they got to slow down. The problem with Denver last time, or excuse me, Miami, they did hit okay from their 3-point shots, but they couldn't hit anything else. They shot 37% for the game. You're not going to win games that way. So I would think that they would shoot the ball better in this one. So you would say, okay, so does that mean over? No, because if they do shoot the ball better, they get to set up their defense rather than Denver, getting a good rebound and a quick outlet pass and try to score in transition. Right. Because as we know, with the two big guns for Denver, it makes it tough. Which guy you covered, and Jokic, what makes him so dangerous is we know what kind of scorer he is, right, but he's an unbelievable, facilitator. I mean, he will hit the open guy if you come in and collapse on him, and you're getting guys that can knock down open looks. So that's what makes it tough. You don't want these guys in transition. Slow the game down. And I got a stat for you, even though we saw this total move up half a point to 211. And I did say it's been a zigzag 4-0, both total and side, just taking the opposite of what it was the last game. There is a historic stat involving game 4 in the NBA Finals, going all the way back to 1986. You've got fourth game of a playoff series, the under in the series, 38-14. Now, that's all playoff series, game 4. And generally, probably what happens is the majority of the time, Jay, we have had 3-0s, but most of the time they're 2-1s. Right. And that fourth game becomes the pivotal game because you either take that commanding lead 3-1, right, or you make it a 3-game series. So right, teams are playing with more desperation, more focus, intensity on the defensive side of the basketball. And I think that's why you've seen the 38-14 to the under over that stretch of time. And that's league wide, all games, all playoff series.
Makes perfect sense to me. And the Heat, and I'll tell you right now, Heat, it goes with the under, in my opinion. We know that this is the better defensive team. Nuggets have the far better offense. We know that. But the thing is with the Heat, when they're hitting their threes, right? When they're hitting their threes, that's when they can play well. And it's interesting because Michael Porter Jr. and KCP still haven't really played well for the Nuggets over there. It's been, and I said this in the last game as well before game 3. I said Jokic and Murray need to go off in this one, but something tells me that Murray shot might be a little off tonight. I could talk y'all maybe looking towards the assist, but he has like a burn, like a floor burn to the flesh. You can see the flesh in this guy's hand, man. That's gonna definitely take a few days to get used to for that for it to go down, for it to, the skin start to get back over it. So I feel like Murray might not be himself today. Day off in Miami. Let me just tell you, it's a lot different from Denver down there. I know that they were practicing and all this, but some tells me that there could have been just a little bit of distractions there on South Beach. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to go to South Beach to be distracted there, man. So, but that's what I'm looking at in this one, man. Give me Heat in the first half and in the full game, plus the 3.5. And then the line is telling as well. They're telling you that the Heat should probably come out here with desperation as well. I don't bet first quarters anymore, but let me see. So they got them basically plus a half for the first quarter of Manila. So the books are kind of telling you by the line that the best spots for the Heat to come out is probably first quarter, first half. But some tells me that they tie this series up 2-2. They may not win another game after this, but for this one in Miami, this is a home game. This is an absolute must win if they want any chance at winning the series as well. I just feel like that this is a Heat spot. This is a spot that I'll take and live with the results. If the Nuggets do win, if they do blow them out, I won't care too much. I will not lose much sleep in this one, Marco. So I got Marco looking towards the Heat full game plus the 3.5. And then also looking towards the under there as well. And for me, give me Heat in the first half plus the one, and give me Heat full game plus the 3.5. Nothing heavy, guys. Some smaller plays, but those are my plays on the game here. Real quick before we get out of here, Marco, I'll talk a couple of WNBA picks, guys. Some I'll give you one pick. The other picks are posted up on the channel, but we did hop on Sparks on the LA Sparks last night -1.5, guys. So for the show, I will go money line. I didn't take the 3.5. I'll go Sparks -150 for the money line, guys. I need them -1.5, so I'll go -150. I think the Sparks win this game. Sky coming off a couple huge wins. I know the overtime game versus the Fever. Then they had, before that, they beat the Liberty straight up. You see what I'm saying? So now they're traveling cross country to LA. This is their first game on the West Coast. This is a lot later game. It's basically a 9 p.m. start for them. Who do they have next? They have the Las Vegas Aces as well. So you get a letdown spot, plus a look ahead spot, plus a late night sleepy spot, and then you have a bounce back spot with the Sparks coming off their worst game of the season, losing to the worst team in the WNBA in the Seattle Sparks. So that's my one pick for you guys today. I do have a few other looks looks on the WNBA. If you'd like to join the channel as a member, you don't have to, but WNBA pick for you guys tonight. Give me the LA Sparks on the money line in this one, guys. That's it for WNBA for today. In that one, Marco, what are you liking on today's card, and what do you have going over at Wager Talk, my brother?
Well, I gave you the play that I'm looking at as far as the NBA goes. I do like Miami plus the 3.5. If you're betting baseball, guys, head over there. I've got a big 4% over at Wager Talk, guys. I've hit 8 of my last 9 4% plays. We're on a long-term 38-19 run with those plays. You can pick that up at Wager Talk. And if you like to play the ponies, tomorrow is the Belmont, and I think there's some pretty good value. It's going to be a great betting race because there's going to be 3 horses that are going to be co-favorites in the race. They're going to be taking the majority. So what that majority of the action, which makes good betting because nobody's going to be an odds-on favorite in that race. So you can get some value. Just like we talk in sports betting, it's all about finding plus EV spots. And I think the Belmont presents one tomorrow. So you can pick that up as well at Wager Talk.
That's a great point. So our guy, holler at Marco over at Wager Talk, man. He's doing horses. He does hockey. He's doing baseball. He's a man in football as well, man. NFL as well, man. If y'all didn't know, when I say sports betting legend, this guy Marco, he's probably the top dog over there at Wager Talk for sure. And I kind of makes me feel some type of way because me and him look at the games the exact same. Every time we're talking, we like the same thing, man. So win or lose, I'm riding with my guy Marco. I was already on Heat plus 3.5. Makes me feel a little bit better now that our guy Marco is on it as well. But I'm also like the first half as well. I think the key for the Heat is to start out this game early. If the Nuggets are a little hungover, it might take a little time for the booze to wear off. So I don't bet first quarters anymore, but I do think the Heat come out and cash the first quarter and the first half. And then I went on ahead and took them full game plus the 3.5. Being perfectly honest, guys, not a heavy bet for me, but I didn't necessarily have to make a play on the game. But those are my plays for the game in this one. But I say WNBA has been so hot lately. I do like these WNBA spots a little bit more, but still on the Heat, still on the Sparks as well. Give them to me on the money line. I didn't lay it with the spread. I laid it 1.5 last night, but still couldn't talk you off 3.5. I think the Sparks win this shit by double digits. Very underrated WNBA team. Shh, people don't know that yet, though. You see what I'm saying? Let's get this cash, guys. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. We will win. We will see you guys back here on Monday, guys. Let's go, guys. Let's get this cash, baby. We out. Y'all have a great day. Great weekend as well, guys. Let's go.